Well, tonight the country has witnessed some really disturbing visuals. Visuals that came in a little early today that really disturbed us, of an actress being mobbed and touched by a crowd that calls itself her fans. The footage is very uncomfortable, and that's what we're playing for you on our screens here. It's unsavory and forces us to confront an ugly question about public behavior in India. Where does admiration end and harassment begin? Here, this actor, who was part of her own song launch at a mall, was literally mobbed, her clothes practically torn apart. If not for the bouncers there, I can only imagine what would have happened to her. We hang our heads in shame for what happened with Nidhi Agerwal. It's shocking that the mall authorities allowed this kind of mob to get so dangerously close to her. The film producers or whoever it is who arranged for security did an absolute shoddy job. She was touched and felt inappropriately by many men there. In fact, it was mostly practically only men who were present there who came to watch that. That was fine, but where was the security? This happened at Lulu Mall in Hyderabad during a song launch event for Sahana Sahana from Nidhi Agerwal's upcoming film Raja Saab. The film stars, in fact, Prabhas and Malavika Mohanan, and the event was attended by Nidhi Agerwal, co-actor Riddhi Kumar, director Maruti, producer T.G. Vishwa Prasad, and music composer Thaman. Now, all of them were there, but Nidhi, while she was exiting, there were two bouncers only, or maybe even one, who was escorting her out amidst that heavy crowd. And that's what happened to her. She was touched inappropriately by multiple people, and a case has now been filed against Lulu Mall authorities. In fact, the film's promotion was scheduled for 5 p.m. but was delayed by a few hours. By then, a massive crowd had already gathered outside and inside the mall. There was no filtration, there was no restrictions. Nidhi Agerwal tried to leave after the event, and she was surrounded by the frenzied crowd, desperate for selfies with her. You know, as if like she's public property. That's mostly the sentiment there. As much as we see the crowds trying to barge into her personal space while she was trying to walk, despite the bouncers trying to maintain peace and asking for people to step away, step aside, allow her passage to walk out. People were pushing and pulling and touching her at every given opportunity they found. Such a shame. Her clothes were torn. Visuals show the visibly shaken actress, fully distressed and frightened. Her team desperately tried to shield her. They managed to get her into the car. But now these videos are viral, and this really leaves us with some really uncomfortable questions on the way people here in our country behave when they see a film star. You know, it's clear that they believe and strongly believe that if you're a woman and if you're on a public platform, if you're an actor and you're basically up for being friendly, that they could touch you and do what they want, comes dangerously close to you because you are public property. If that's the sentiment, then we really must hang our heads in shame. Authorities say that there was no official security arrangements, not enough. Crowd control itself was poorly planned, and therefore Lulu Mall authorities have been booked. This is not an isolated incident. You remember multiple cases like this have happened, like for example, Pushpa 2's release, Allu Arjun's event, where a stampede happened there, zero crowd management at that point. And in Sandhya Theatre, a mother and child were caught in the middle of the crowds. In fact, the lady passed away as well. And multiple cases like this that have happened, which exposes how poorly our public events are planned. Let's quickly bring in our guests for a little more on what we really are seeing with this video here, and what should we say at this point. Asha Jomis, social activist. We also have K.S. Prasad, activist and journalist from Hyderabad, and Cynthia Stephen, independent research and journalist, gender and development policy analyst. Thanks very much, all of you, for joining us. Asha Jomis, your take. I'm just at a loss of words as to what to say. You know, people think that an actor is a public property, especially an actress. They pile on, and I can only see men. At every inch of that video there, you can see only men there trying to push and shove and touch her as far as they can, right? And this girl was so distressed is seen jumping into the car, and her clothes are torn. I'm just so shocked, and I'm in loss of words. How would you view a situation like this? Is it only about poor crowd management, or a lot more to do with our behavior as a society?
Definitely. Definitely, it has to do with the crowd management, which the authorities have clearly failed. The mall people, especially Lulu Mall, which is one of the largest chains of malls in India, and run by MA Yusuf Ali. I'm pretty sure he'll be watching this news from wherever he is today. He's based in Dubai, I guess, and he would know that this kind of an incident would have serious legal consequences if it was in the Middle East, especially such disrespect being shown at a woman. But in India, we can always break the law. If you look at the article, news reports, the mall authorities did not have the permission to do such events. So it is not just about looking at this one particular incident. I think the police and the authorities should look into all the events that has happened in Lulu Mall and look into whether they were done with prior permission, because I think it would be really impossible to get permission to do such huge events involving huge crowds in such closed enclosures and places like malls. So I think what the people would do is they would do the events without the legal permission, and if nothing happens, it's all good and fine. They might bribe the authorities, and in case if something goes wrong, fortunately she's safe at this point, but definitely at that point she was not safe. And we've also seen the Pushpa incident that you really mentioned in the beginning of the debate. One woman lost her life, and I think Allu Arjun was booked for her death, but no legal consequences whatsoever for anybody. So we are setting a precedent and letting the authorities, the mall authorities, the event organizers know that, even if something bad happens, nobody is going to be
Yeah, very
legally
casual attitude.
very casual. So I think the police and the authorities should look into all the events that has happened in malls, and if those events have got the licenses, and if not, I think an inquiry should come into how these events happen without getting these licenses. And about crowd management, I think it's a huge topic. We cannot teach all the men to behave properly, respect women. Of course, we are doing that in schools. Unfortunately, it's not being reflected in our society and in our real life.
Right. Cynthia Stephen, if you can come in on this, on how do you view this video here that surfaced? It's come in early today, and it's really left me shocked to see a woman like that, so disturbed and disgusted, and she jumps into her car, and then her clothes are torn. They and people there, the men there who were trying to take a selfie with her, know very well that she's uncomfortable. She's trying to run away. She does not want to take a selfie, but they try to pile on and, push as much as possible to get to her. What does it speak of as a society? What does it speak of us as a society?
Before I go into that, if I may say so, I it's also I mean this is to be utterly condemned, no doubt about it, at all levels, and whether it is the producers, the PR agency which failed in its duty, the law mall authorities which failed in their duties. I think the most important thing is now they're running this. Sorry, but they're running this video on loop without even blurring anything. Is also kind of promoting voyeurism, if I may say so. And it has always disturbed me. And I wish I'm cringing as I keep on seeing these videos, on loop. And I wish, even the media restrained itself from showing such material on loop without blurring at least the face and what is essential to be blurred. I think so at all levels. These kind of behaviors by institutions have to be condemned. One. Secondly, I think there is a larger picture here that I'd like to bring in. If you know, there we've just last this few days ago had a case in Kerala which had been running for 8 years, where uh, uh, an actress was, somebody was hired to sexually assault an actress. And the conspiracy was allegedly not proved. And so the chief conspirator was
Let off.
let
Yeah.
off. And the fact is that the fans have supported the alleged conspirator. In Karnataka, we have another case where a very famous actor.
Yeah. We know what you're saying. Darshan, who's right now in jail, and his film is being celebrated
But
even before
nothing
the
happened
trial
to
of
the
his.
fans. Yeah, they do this on the strength of the power of the fans. What is our film and media industry doing in objectifying women? That is the larger question I would like to raise. And so
True.
I think we all need to, all of us need to go back and think about, at all levels, we need to wonder how this kind of the films, which are a very popular and powerful medium, how are they contributing really to society, or are they contributing to our baser instincts, especially the male versus female situation? I think this is with the redeeming feature in Kerala is that a large section of society are also standing with the survivor, and they're also standing against
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
No, there are two
and
types of people in the society as well. Like you said, there are people who are
yes.
who glorify crimes if
Totally.
they are a
And I
superstar.
think the mass is beginning to shift away from being decent and, able to handle our emotions and give respect to each other, to becoming mobs without raging
Yeah.
mobs.
You know,
It's
what I see
really
here is that
very, very disturbing.
we as
And
Indians
honestly,
are hero worshippers. We are hero worshippers. When I say hero worshippers, we love film stars. We love an icon. We love to see someone who we aspire to be. But men usually find their way out easily. They are not intimidated in crowds like this, and they have bigger security personnel, larger teams to ensure their safety. But this girl, Nidhi Agerwal, is not the lead actor in the film. She's part of the film, and this song that was launched was her song. But from what I see was there was only one bodyguard who escorted her out. Only one bodyguard who escorted her out in the middle of that heavy crowd. And that's the disparity I'm seeing there. If it was a male superstar, if Prabhas was there, it's his film. If Prabhas was there, imagine the number of security personnel who would be surrounding him before he's taken out, escorted out. K.S. Prasad?
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening to the viewers and good evening to the panelists. I'm really sorry to be a part of this. You are just like my sisters and mothers. And I'm really saying sorry on behalf of every male fraternity. This is really a ridiculous situation for a woman where we need to respect and we need to protect them. Instead of that, what we have done today, on behalf of everybody, I'm saying sorry. It is really, and situations like in a mall and all, if somebody lets to do these sort of film activities, and we are quite aware of that. As Chitra ma'am said very clearly, I respect her and the concern what she has expressed towards woman fraternity. And to be at my point, it is our duty to respect women, but unfortunately, it is not happening because of illiteracy and in the film mania. And people are they are living in a different trance as if they take some sort of selfie with a heroine, as if they interpret themselves as a hero. That's how the pathetic situation is. And in this particular scenario, particularly Nidhi Agarwal and all, and it is her minimum duty to take care of with her own bouncers rather than letting everybody to jump on her head and invite these sort of situations. And quite unfortunately, and in this sort of malls, I don't know how the people have got these sort of permissions. And more particularly, following, as you said very clearly, ma'am, the person like Prabhas and Mahesh Babu and Chiranjeevi and all these are the prominent leader heroes in Telugu industry. If their events takes place, obviously they take care of with their security with their own bouncers and as well as their with their own security. And in this
the
scenario,
film production unit and the makers of the film don't allot a bouncer to their female stars?
obviously, we are in India, ma'am. You need to understand one thing, that how woman fraternity has been treated by useless
No,
males.
no. What I
It is,
do know is that the men always get it. The men ask
yeah,
and they get it. Do the women get it when they ask?
no. That's what I'm expressing. Na? As a woman, I'll
So
always say
we're
all sort of
seeing
stories. I respect. You're
discrimination
just like my
even by
mom.
the
You're
makers
like
of
my
the
sister
film.
and all.
They won't give enough security to the woman. They'll give a better security to the man, despite the woman
No,
being
no,
more
it is not
vulnerable.
about.
Miss Cynthia?
Ma'am, they'll always crawl
I'm
for
sorry.
their publicity. This, ma'am, just give me a last submission. They'll always crawl for their publicity. This event, as it has happened, it is their differently they use for their publicity purpose. This is all the hype they create. This is what cinema fraternity. That we need to understand. Here we are all focusing on Nidhi Agerwal being a woman. She's not given a proper security and all. That's what your concern,
Yeah.
Chitra ma'am's concern, and the ma'am's concern is very clear. But quite unfortunately, it is our primary courtesy to give protection for them. Where is policy? Police, they have been not informed. In a small mall, if police is been informed in the nearest police station like Kukutpalli, they would not even let this to happen. Because the cinema, particularly Prabhas Pictures event, they knows pretty well what sort of crowd will turn. And if you really recollect the incident of Pushpa 2, where the hero is going to for that
Yeah.
movie, what sort of mob is being gathered? These are all the quite evidential situations for the respect to police, even after they've been driving with a still helpless situation.
Correct.
Unfortunately, yeah, we all will say that police needs to give protection and all. Until and then they are not informed, how can they?
So
It is our
basically,
duty to
mall
understand.
authorities to be blamed, and even the film production, the makers also have responsibility to take permission or no?
Ma'am, whether they take permission or not, they'll take a small excuse that we are not anticipated this sort of crowd. We know pretty well in Kukatpalli what is the Forum Mall and what is the Lulu Mall. Everybody knows what sort of crowd comes. These are quite eventual situations, and we are aware of it. Unfortunately, these people have fallen on my head. What we can do
No,
with
what
the
a
limited
shame!
security, we
What a
don't go
shame!
than the best.
You know, so basically, there's no proper safeguards, no rules that are implemented, so such kind of situations could be avoided. And on the contrary, we have no shame as a society. We have no shame. These are men who are all part of the same society we are part of, and they think that a woman who's part of a
May I
film
come in here?
is easy and they can very well touch her the way they want to. They can get as close to her the way they want to. Yeah, that's the mentality, and that's what I'm disgusted by. That people and men
I'm sorry
in that
if I may
video
come in
there.
here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, ma'am, I'll tell you a small
Cynthia
thing.
had something to
If
say.
it happens to my sister and my mother, obviously the reactive mode of a male fraternity is totally different. But it happens with somebody else,
Yeah.
just like what I said, like, I'm sorry, this shouldn't happen. And these sort of excuses I've been giving it. For all
Cynthia,
which,
what do you have to say? I have barely a minute left.
Yeah, I'm extremely shocked that Prasad would say that it's her lookout and she has to look after her own security. Who organized the program? It was not she. It was the producers who are doing it for their publicity. And then anyone would want their clothes to be torn apart in public. It's the responsibility of the organizer. I am shocked that Mr. Prasad is saying that it is her lookout. She has to bring her own security. This is just not the way. I mean, this is a dismissive way. No respect. Anything could have happened to her in the public place. Who would
Yeah.
he
no,
hold
ma'am, no, no,
responsible if there are
no, 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 I'm saying,
100 men
Chitra
surrounding her
ma'am,
and crushing her? This is
no, no, ma'am,
this is
All right.
no, no, I'm not saying
disrespect.
about
I'm
dressing.
sorry. I
No,
cannot
no,
accept this kind of offhand answer.
no, Chitra ma'am, I
This
have
is
not said about
totally
dressing. I
irresponsible
said
on
very
the
clearly,
part to
the
come
heroes
up
are
like this.
concerned, they'll
I
take care of their
condemn
own
such
protection.
language and
The
such an
same way they
attitude.
need to take. No, no,
No,
Chitra ma'am,
No, but
seriously.
no,
but
No, no,
this
Mr.
ma'am.
is not the
Prasad
I
case.
didn't utter
saying
a single
It's
word
Mr.
not
about
Prasad
dressing.
saying that we are in India, women need to be doubly careful is not really the way we want to move forward. We want better accountability. We want the filmmakers to be
No, no.
accountable. They must provide security, and we must ensure mall authorities must take permission. They must provide security. We are not going to normalize this. That's the end take here. We're not normalizing it. We're placing accountability, and accountability lies on the filmmakers of that film for not giving adequate security
Absolutely.
to their actress, And for the mall authorities for not anticipating the crowds, not having proper permission or security guards in place at that point. But my heart going out to Nidhi Agerwal for enduring what she did, and let's hope this is the last. Thanks very much, all of you, for joining us. That's all I have time for.